This episode of The Gamer and the Newb is brought to you by The Switchbit. Check out The Switchbit on YouTube, Instagram, and the Twitter.
I can game with you, play when we want to. I can game with you, the gamer and the noob. I can play with you, game when we want to. I can play with you, the gamer and the noob.
Welcome to The Gamer and the Newb. My name's Sam, I'm the gamer.
And I'm Steph, I'm the noob.
And welcome back. This is episode 6. Our last episode was all about Animal Crossing. I'm pretty sure that's pretty much the only game we talked about last time, except for a little bit of Doom. A little bit of baby bit of Doom.
Little bit of doom.
A little tiny bit. But it was all about Animal Crossing. We were 5 days in at that point, right?
Correct.
And we definitely were in the honeymoon phase. Speaking of honeymoons. So, last episode, me and Steph, the gamer and the noob, were just that. I was the gamer and she was the noob. Now, I am Mr. Gamer and she is Mrs. Gamer. But we're still going to call her the noob just for like content purposes. But yeah, we got married 2 days ago.
On Wednesday.
Yeah. When you're hearing this, that won't make any sense because it's going to be like Monday. But we're just, the important thing to know is we are now married, which is really, really awesome. I'm very happy. Very, very happy about that. And I don't know how I fooled her into all of this, but she's kind of stuck now.
It's legal now.
So yeah, very excited about that. I just wanted to share that little bit of news. But we were in the honeymoon phase of Animal Crossing. That first week, 2 weeks, I mean, sometimes even up to a month, depending on the content of the game. It's definitely like a honeymoon phase kind of thing. Like it's all you're thinking about kind of thing. Like you go to work or whatever and you're thinking about like, ooh, I want to go home and play that game or whatever.
Oh, new love.
Yes, exactly. Did it just touch my hand? Was that an accidental glance my way? That's kind of the honeymoon phase of the game. So now that we are 2 weeks into playing this game, we'll have, I guess, a little bit more realistic viewpoints because maybe now we've seen some of the faults of it. I don't know. We'll talk about that in a minute. But first, before we get to that, I actually kind of want to talk about some other games. I know, shocker, right? Have you been playing anything else besides Animal Crossing?
Just Beat Saber.
Beat Saber. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And you found an amazing song on Beat Saber.
The most amazing song.
Do you remember the name?
Something about angels and voice of angels or something like that.
Angel
voices.
Angel voices? I think that's what it's called. I actually had to look it up yesterday because somebody on Twitter asked, "What's your favorite Beat Saber song?" And it's literally the song that you played like a week and a half ago or whatever. It's like 6 minutes long.
No, it's long. It's like over 10 minutes long or something.
Is it really?
I think so.
It's long.
And I played it like 3 or 4 times.
I was sweating. Like
I have to use my little cloth headband as a sweat rag because I was just pouring with sweat at the end of it. It's a long song, and that was the first song that really solidified me on playing on the hard level.
Yeah.
That was a huge accomplishment for me.
You were excited too. You were like, hey, play this song. You played it like, we had 3 scores on there, back to back to back. And they were all...
The first one I failed.
They were formidable scores.
So,
oh, really?
Like 3.5.
It's an amazing song.
Yeah.
It's my favorite song now too because it has like... It's almost like that chill, cool, like techno vibe to it. And it's like tranquil. And then like... halfway through, you're just...
It's an adrenaline rush.
It's crazy. Like, you really feel like you're just banging on drums. And
yes.
Like, you feel the music as you hit it. It's awesome.
You simulate that.
100%.
And that was the song that I told you, like, really drew me back into, like, musicality. And I felt like I was 10 years old back in all of my dance classes again. In the coolest way.
Right.
Because... I don't know if you know this, but I'm kind of shy.
What?
I know. And I'm not like go to the club dance kind of person. But that got me back into almost a choreography kind of dance that I loved it. It was such an amazing experience.
You feel like kind of a badass while you're doing
Yes.
it. Yeah.
Yes.
Like, whether you look that way or not is,
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't
because
matter.
It's all in your head.
Yeah. You feel like you're like in the Matrix, just rocking out like kung fu moves or something.
Yes.
Yeah. It's amazing. Play anything else?
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Is VR and Animal Crossing
Mostly
right
Animal
now.
Crossing for both of us.
Right.
I think I'm still playing Doom 64, so I want to take a little bit of time to talk about Doom 64. So
I'll probably have questions.
Yeah.
You've referenced it a couple of times,
Yeah.
but I
Have
don't
you-
know a ton about
have
it.
you seen me playing it, like in glancing or...
No, because you typically play it when me and Evie are not around.
Right. Yeah.
For a purpose, I think. Yeah.
It's filled with like evil imagery. I mean, it really is. But so this is a game that I first played. It's Doom 64. Doom is a first-person shooter. It's one of the first to like really popularize, and it actually brought in a lot of like, you know, hate because it was like an ultra violent. Now, albeit it's 2D sprites that you're like shooting, you know, but back in the day in like the early 90s, you know, that was hyper realistic for what was provided.
What do you mean by sprite?
So, okay, 2D graphics. There's 2D graphics and 3D graphics. Okay, so Animal Crossing is made with 3D graphics. Okay, so all those little characters are created by polygons. Okay, so a polygon is a triangular shape, and they put a bunch of triangular shapes together, thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands, in order to create like a circle or a character model or whatever. So with 2D games back in the day, they're the best, I guess, concept to look at is Mario Brothers. Like you can actually count out a sprite is just like a little square of color. That's what a sprite is. So 2D games are pretty much always created, unless they're hand drawn, they're like sprites that create a bigger picture. So like, thinking of Animal Crossing, you know, when you use little blocks to create a design, right? In Animal Crossing, those are sprites basically.
Okay.
So it's a first person shooter game. Doom 64 first came out when it was 97, I think. So I was 13 or 14 when it came out, and we rented it. I think me and my brother both played it. That's back when, you know, he played games too, you know, with us. And you're basically shooting demons in hell. Like the whole point of that in all of the Doom games, and it's a very long lasting franchise that just had a very new sequel come out with all the, you know, fixins. But Doom 64 was the one that I guess I first really started to like, but also like understood that games can be scary. And so like I'll kind of delve into that a little bit more. So you are a guy on Mars, and then you get sucked into like a portal to hell, and you have to like save humanity by killing demons. There's a lot of like evil imagery, you know, all kinds of stuff.
That doesn't like mess with your head.
It did when I was little, and I couldn't finish it. It scared me. The really like moody music, because the first two Dooms was like synth rock metal, like and you're just running around like really fast, like killing everything as fast as you can. And this one was more of like is very moody. Instead of having music, it was more like atmospheric sounds, maybe some pipes banging. You hear like a baby crying in the background, and just weird. Like you can tell whoever made the soundtrack to that game had a lot of fun. Like, ooh, what would sound weird? Messing with all kinds of stuff.
Or psychology background.
Yeah, maybe. But I remember playing that when I was younger and just being so creeped out by the audio of it that I couldn't even finish. And it's like it's very dark. Like actually, like it uses lighting in a very, you know, atmospheric way. But even though it was like really dark, thematically, it always held a place in my heart as like a fond, you know, game, like nostalgia or whatever, you know, thinking back. And now that I'm adult, now that we know what really hyper realistic graphics are for us today, it's like a cartoon, you know, so it doesn't hold that ominous vibe that the first one did to me now in my adulthood, in my, you know, late, almost 40-year-old adulthood.
Hey, snap out of it.
Anyways, so it's really just a challenging game where you run around killing stuff, of course, but you have to find keys, and then you got to hit this switch, and this switch does something else somewhere in the level. So it's more of like a big, huge 3D puzzle, you know, than it is a run and gun, kill everything that moves kind of game. And I think that's what I enjoy most about it. So they redid it for HD systems for the first time in ever. and they added new content and stuff. So I've been playing that quite a bit, and it's kind of a trip down memory lane. Back then, like, I used cheat codes to like get past the scary levels. So, but this time I'm actually going level through level through level, and I'm actually gonna beat it. That's my goal. So I play that like whenever I need a palate cleanse from Animal Crossing. I'm just like, because Animal Crossing is so sweet and saccharine, you know. It's
I love it.
yeah, it's awesome. But there's there's a couple other games that I've recently purchased because they were on deep discount. Like I haven't played them yet, but I plan to. And then Final Fantasy VII Remake came out today, and that's something that we talked about in the past. You watched me play, the OG Final Fantasy VII, and then you watched me play the demo of it. But that's
is that the one that? Okay,
yeah.
I just connected that in my brain.
It's a big deal. It's a game a lot of people have been clamoring for. It's a game that a lot of people are expecting very, very big things from. So I do want to get that, but I have so much on my playlist right now. Like,
you've got quite the docket.
Yes, the backlog. I've got the backlog blues. But anyway, so that came out today, so I really, really, really want to play that. That's definitely on my to-do list. And so speaking of that, I put up a little poll. I've just only had it up for a few hours, but the poll is, what are you playing this weekend on Twitter? Okay, so it was a choice between Final Fantasy VII Remake, Animal Crossing, Doom Eternal, which recently came out, a couple weeks ago, or something else. And if it's something else, go ahead and comment. 160 votes came in. And do you want to know who won?
Yes.
Guess.
Animal Crossing.
Of course. 47% said that they were playing Animal Crossing this weekend. Because if you have it, of course you're going to play it. Like, it's a game you can't not play for a day because you'll think you'll miss something.
Gotta get those Nook miles.
Yeah. But some other games that some other people were playing, we got at Carbios3445 said Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. That's an oldie but a goodie. PK in the Universe, Twitter, said Shining Force. That's an old Sega Genesis game. You know Sega Genesis, right?
I had one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was yours?
Yeah.
Your own Sega Genesis?
We've talked about this.
Not on recording.
Yes, I had a Sega Genesis. I played games like Aladdin and The Lion King.
Like, I knew you played those, but I didn't know that you owned your own Sega.
It was mine. I don't even remember, like, asking for it. But I do know it was mine. I don't know if it was a surprise. I don't know if I asked for it. For some reason, that's all very
It wasn't
hazy.
A present or anything like that?
I'm sure it was Christmas or birthday or something, but I don't remember why I had it.
But it was yours.
But it was mine, and I played it. But the thing about being an only child and growing up with only adults around, I didn't even grow up in a neighborhood to have like a neighborhood friend kid be like, I can't beat this. You got any tips or advice, or you want to try? Or I had nothing. And so whenever I was just like hitting a wall, I couldn't get past something. I just quit. So I could have been a gamer a long time ago.
You could have. That was a big thing, like finding other gamers at school or wherever, and then talking about your experience, and then be like, oh, this is how I beat that, and just coming up in natural conversation, or, oh, did you know on this level you can do this, and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And you were probably too shy in school to, like, just approach people about it, right?
I was painfully shy growing up, yeah. And my friends, we didn't talk about video games or anything. They may have had consoles. I don't even know. I don't know. We didn't talk about it.
Well.
I know.
Could have been.
There's a couple of games that have been like that for me. Like computer games, too.
Do you know what they are?
There's one I'm thinking of in particular, and I don't know how many times I tried this one level. I tried everything that I could think of, and knowing what I know now and knowing you, it was probably something that you could have done in 2 seconds.
What game was it?
I don't remember the name of it.
Well, describe it.
I mean, this was like when I was in 6th grade or something. So, I mean, my memories are very hazy. Excuse me. It was like something resembling almost a duck. I think it was some type of bird. It was a computer game. Did I mention that?
Well, let's talk about, before you describe what's going on, what does it look like? Are you looking at it from a 2-dimensional side view? Are you looking at it from a top-down kind of view?
Neither.
Okay.
It was kind of like you're in it, like first person almost.
Okay.
And so like you could turn and look around. I mean, it was like you were the player.
Okay, and you're a duck?
Something like that. Something about, I don't know.
Is it colored? Is it black and white?
Very color. It's like super bright neon almost colors.
Is it big open spaces or is it more like corridors?
Open spaces. It was all outside. I mean, it was very nature oriented. I remember like, I think on that level you have to do like bouncing in some way.
It was a computer game?
Yes.
You couldn't have possibly played it on something else?
No.
Okay.
It was definitely the computer.
Because in my mind, I'm thinking there's.
I had a Windows 95.
Oh,
I know.
There's this game called Jumping Flash, which in my mind it's a bunny, not is it a bunny? I don't know, not a duck. Anyways, if you know what the heck she's talking about at all,
help me out.
Help her.
I don't know.
Help her because it's keeping her up at night. A couple more games. I should have added Resident Evil 3. That was another game, a game that is pretty fond in my eyes. They remade that as well. They're just remaking all these old games because people my age and a little bit older who at the time were playing these games, now they have, a bunch of extra money. So, of course, they're remaking all these games to feed into that. But they're actually pretty good remakes for the most part. So, at Ryu Ale is playing Resident Evil 3. He's the only one that said that, which is quite surprising. And I wonder if that's telling about how it sold. And then Chad, at Chad421345153 said Xenoblade 2. Anytime anybody says Xenoblade 2, I have to shout them out because that is like one of my favorite games ever. But out of everybody, now obviously my name is the Switchbit on Twitter. I have a huge, I don't have a huge following, but a huge portion of my following is they're Nintendo people, So of course I'm thinking that Animal Crossing is going to win out.
Hey, have you worn your shoes yet?
No.
When are you going to wear your shoes?
When I have an opportunity to go outside and we're kind of like...
outside today.
I'm not going to go walk or run in those shoes. Okay, so this is what we're talking about. She got, I saw these shoes on an Instagram advertisement, and it looks like an NES controller, but it's like a pair of like walking shoes. And I guess did you buy them that the same day?
Pretty much.
Yeah. So she bought them for me. But now we're in shelter, and it's not like we can go out to the mall or something. And I don't know. I really want to show them off, but to who?
Just wear them around the house.
Okay. I'll model them and put them on Twitter and
Evie would love
and
them.
Instagram. And okay, one more thing before we get to talking more about Animal Crossing. I actually put up a little bit of maybe this can just kind of segue into us talking about Animal Crossing. We can talk about what some of these people replied. I had a question. I said, why do you like Animal Crossing, and what's your favorite part of the game? This is something I put out on Twitter this morning. So we got a few responses to that, so maybe we can kind of listen to the responses and then talk back about it. So at One Up Level Game, he said, I like it because it is like real life. You have to earn and work for what you can do in the game. You can play how you want to play and are not pressured to do things that you want to do. Or that you don't want to do, excuse me. I personally love the crafting element to this game, and it makes it come alive. So, do you agree? Do you like it for the same reasons? Because he first says, I like it because you have to earn and work for what you want to do in the game. Do you like that portion of it?
I think that you do get a sense of accomplishment.
Yeah.
For sure. But no, I don't play that game because it's like life.
Yeah.
I play that game in order to get away from the obligations of life.
Yeah.
And so it's like I can have a little bit of an escape. I can be on an island and design it how I want. For me, it's completely unrealistic. The only things that, follow the same rules are I gotta go water my flowers. I gotta go check in with this person. I gotta do this. I gotta make money in order to get what I want. I do understand the sense of accomplishment, but that's not why I play it.
So you play it as an escape because I see obligations. There are times where I don't want to pick up the game because I'm doing something else, but I'm I got to get on there and check my turnip prices, So I do feel for me there is a pull to play that game because of obligations. I'm not sure that's what he's saying. I think he's saying in real life you work hard, you get rewarded. I think he's just saying that in this game too. Like,
I see that.
you can just fish, but if you want to like bust your butt and do things and like work hard, it's gonna show right there, just like in real
Absolutely,
life. It kind of mirrors that, like you said, that sense of accomplishment. And then, but he also says you're not pressured to do things; you just do what you want. That's kind of what you were saying. Like, I'm just gonna get on and do whatever.
I like having the loose guidelines and suggestions of, if this is what you want, if this is the avenue you want to take, this is how to do it.
Right.
Or here's another one, here's another one, or here's another one, and you can do them all. You can do one, you can do a couple. It's your choice. And
they do a good job of laying it all out for you. And then, like, right now, for the past, like, 5 days, every day, they're like, no announcements today. And it's like, okay, I just know I need to pay off my house, I guess, and do some other things. So I don't ever set out with a goal, like, for the day when I go to play the game. But very quickly, those formulate. Do you ever set out to actually, when you start playing Animal Crossing, I'm going to do this first? Or do you have, like, a game plan?
Yes.
You do? Mm-hmm. Okay. Go. What is it?
The very first thing I do is make sure I have enough storage in my pockets to use. And then I go look for fossils immediately. Do
you scour the whole island for fossils?
The entire island.
Okay.
Every single, like, I will walk up and down rows of trees. I mean, because it's kind of exciting to me, of somewhere in here I'm going to see like 3 or 4 stars on the ground and there's going to be a fossil. Because whenever you went to that one guy's island and we looked in his museum, that was the coolest thing. I mean, that was eye-opening for me of like, this could be something really amazing. And so ever since then, I'm like, I want to build up all my fossils and my fish and, you know, all the things of the museum. And so every day it's check my pockets, go look for fossils, water my flowers. Because I'm also motivated to see what kind of flowers I can get out of planting things side by side and mixing colors. And I've already kind of seen a little bit of that. And if you plant them in a certain way, they'll drop seeds on their own and just start to expand and do their own thing. And so that's kind of my own little experiment. The fossils is exciting, but it's also an obligation in my mind. And then the flowers is my experiment of the day.
So have you got any like hybrid flowers from doing that? Yeah.
Yeah, I planted some red and white next to each other and I got pink.
Cool.
I wanted to see if I could get anything different. I did get some blue ones from mixing red and yellow.
Okay.
Or planting them next to each other. It resulted in blue somehow.
Okay.
But yeah, it was really cool. I just wanted to see what would happen.
So I didn't have any interest in flowers. And then Mark, who's a mutual friend of ours, he's been playing this game like nonstop too. And he was like, I'm trying to find all these rare flowers. And I was like, rare? What are you talking about? Like hybrid color, like different colors. I didn't even realize. And then all of a sudden I went to a mystery island. There's like pink and all these other, you know, orange. And I'm like, oh. So then I started looking into it and like, yeah, you can get all these weird hybrid colors that pop up. So that's been a big part of my thing too. And it's funny because I visit other people's islands. You actually have a few friends now. Thank you to everybody who sent her a friend request.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Have you played with anybody yet?
There's one particular person that keeps popping on, but I'm still kind of shy and I haven't made any contact yet.
That's how I'm too. And you'll notice like sometimes like I'll one up, he popped in my game and say, hey, what's up? You know, blah, blah, blah. And then sometimes people pop in the game and I'm not usually one to like talk first. So it's just a little more quiet and like, I'm going to leave now. I'm like, okay, bye. But one thing I've noticed across traveling to other people's islands and is that you almost like develop a niche, however you say it. You develop like yours is fossils. That's like your thing, you know? Like when I knew that you were going to say that because you've told me before. It's like, I got to get the fossils. Like, you go to other people's museums and they may not have much of fossils at all, but they got some really cool fish. So, you know, that's their little, you know, cut that they're into. And I was trying to think if I have that or not. Like right now it's just Easter. Like that's
your island is like Easter Island too. I mean, you look like you're about to have the biggest Easter celebration. The most amazing parade. Like, I pride myself on being a holiday decorator and, you know, I enjoy being festive.
That's like in our house and stuff.
That's something that absolutely brightens my life. but you have put everyone to shame. I was like, I have no right to even say I have interest. I mean, you really outdid yourself on that. I was shocked.
They started this super creepy Easter bunny or egg day. What is it? Bunny day.
Bunny day.
Yeah, this super creepy bunny comes by and he's like, "Hey, I'm gonna hide things." And there's a bunch. So there's eggs everywhere. They actually came out with an update that reduced the amount of eggs. I don't know if it's like the 1.14 update. Yeah, because they're everywhere. And everybody on Twitter and everybody's like, "I can't stand these eggs." And they're like, "I'm just gonna lean into this." And so I'm just went egg hunting, and I've
shocking.
built every egg. I've built all the costumes, and I've given them to my residents and stuff. They're wearing the costumes.
Nuh-uh.
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
that's
you
amazing.
can give them whatever and they're gonna wear it.
That's funny.
So they're wearing like the bunny hats, and like you walk right into my island and it's just like Easter threw up.
It's amazing though. Like, you've done it in such a classy, tasteful way. I'm like, oh, maybe he's the decorator of the family.
No, not in real life. No. But yeah, I feel like everybody has like, it's one thing they kind of gravitate towards because it's so hard to do it all. There's so much to do.
There's a lot to do. Yes.
So, but I do like that. Like right now, I'm trying to get gold nuggets, but they're just so hard to come by.
Can I also bring up your orchard?
Yeah.
Like, you really put some early thought and system into that.
Yeah, I started that early. Yeah.
Very early.
I now have all the fruits.
And at first I was like, what a weird thing to want to do, to make an orchard. Like, that's a thing that I never even considered.
Yeah.
And now it's this like colossal, amazing thing.
Yeah, I just have like 15 of each tree fruit just like lined up, and you can just walk through, and anybody who comes to my island, I'm just like, take whatever, man. Take all my fruit.
You were talking about some guy that you said, yeah, take as much as you want, and he took like 3 apples or something.
Yeah, pears. Well, he came by. I found him on Twitter, and here he commented, and he's like, "I got some cherries," and because that's what I was looking for, cherries. And I was like, "I got pears. Cool, let's do this. Let's do the switcheroo." He came by and like just like got like 1 tree, and I'm like, "No, man."
You started taking your own fruit off and then handing it to him.
I feel like I had to like force him to take my pears, man. And so, One Up Level Up Game also said he personally loves the crafting element to the game. He feels like it makes it come alive. Evidently, now this is the, let's see, GameCube, DS, 3DS, Wii. This is the 5th real Animal Crossing game. And from what I've heard, it's the first one to have crafting, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I think that's correct. Like I said, I'm not too familiar with the ones previous. But how would you feel about this game without crafting? I don't know. I feel like it'd be that... I feel like it's a pretty integral component to the game.
Well, because it fits in with the storyline, honestly, of like, you have to move to a desert island. You are given these like really flimsy tools. And then like, as you accumulate supplies and stuff that you need, then you can craft these sturdier products.
Right. And
it adds to the sense of accomplishment for
Yeah.
sure. It also makes you feel like you're in charge of, I made this, I built this is mine. Whenever it breaks, I have to get supplies for a new one. I think it just kind of adds to the storyline of being on a desert island and
For
now
sure.
you survive.
Yeah. So what if like the only way you were able to get all these things that you've built was through talking to other animals and like doing little favors for them?
Oh.
That wouldn't be as enticing, right? I feel like.
I don't think I would like that as much.
Maybe that's why I like this game so much more than the previous ones too. That control.
Yeah.
That immediate sense of accomplishment every time you build something. Like, ooh, I don't have this, cool, I built it. Or I built it and now I can give it to somebody. Like Sherry is this little monkey. She's one of my residents. I love her. So there's some people on Twitter who are like talking smack about her, and I'm like as if she's the worst Animal Crossing character ever. I don't get it because I love her. She's my favorite one because she just stops and sings all the time.
That's what you do in real life.
I know. And it's like my spirit animal. It was her birthday today, and I gave her a cute wardrobe. She was so excited. It's like I woke up in the morning to check turnip prices, and then one of those other guys was like, "Hey, it's Sherry's birthday," and I'm like, "I gotta go to her house. Where's her house?" And then I walked in, the whole birthday party was going on. I gave her a present. She thought it was cool. So hopefully I get something in return. All right, so on the same question about what do you like about
not the
this?
right intention.
At the Lord Rylus or Raylus. I've never known. He's a Switch Core member. He's in that little like clan we have for Asphalt 9. Michael Smith, I think he's actually the one that put it together. He says the game allows me to do whatever I want and not feel required to follow a schedule. However, the checklist of things I want to accomplish grows every day.
Yes.
Because there is so much opportunity. The
He's so
museum is amazing too. So it's like he loves having all this stuff to do, but at the same time, there's so much to do that you can't help but at some point to feel overwhelmed.
For sure. I mean, it's like, what time tonight? And it's late. Like, I know, I haven't even touched the game today.
I know, we got to get on there.
I know. I've got things to do. Let's wrap this party up.
No, we're going to talk about Animal Crossing.
Yeah, for sure.
A long time.
But yeah, I definitely can agree with that it's so much fun, and I enjoy doing all those things, but it's also hard to fit into your day sometimes.
Yeah, I agree. Like yesterday, I got on twice and maybe played for a total of 30 minutes, which may seem like a lot to some people, but to me, that game, that's
so short in that game.
So short. And I was like, I feel bad I didn't get on it. And like Chris and Corey just got it. And like, thank God they got it because I'm very excited to play with them. But like I need to get on and play. Got other stuff. I have a real life,
Got to do laundry and dishes.
Exactly. All right, so next up is at Switch Under G. So Switch Underground Danny, he says, simple for me. Easy peasy. The metagame feedback loop of progression is instant, and it can be done daily with rocks and harvesting. You'll always get to feel like you are moving forward if only you touch it for a little while, or a little bit. To that end, the game can be played for years. So just how we were just talking about, I was only on for 30 minutes, but I did something. Every little tiny thing you do, even if it's shaking a tree and grabbing a twig, that's something that later down the road you might use to craft something. So every little thing you do is rewarding because it's building towards the overall, expansion of your island or whatever.
Absolutely.
That rings true for you too? You get that vibe?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man, these guys have some good
responses.
Good responses. And next is, look at this. At Jason Setley. A.K.A. Minnesota Jason.
What?
I'm from Minnesota. What's up, Minnesota Jason? He said, never really cared much for the franchise. Me too. He said...
You went through a varying amount of octaves there.
I know, right? But this time around, playing with my wife and our daughter, it's joyful fun. When I play, I just change the character into a boy. And when they play, they change back to a girl, which is a nice option since they only give you one save. So, yeah, you can change the sex at any time if you want to.
Really?
In the mirror, I think. Or there's somewhere you can do it. I can't remember where. Huh. But he brings up a point I didn't know. We are playing on 2 separate Switches. So we have 2 separate islands.
Yeah.
If we didn't have 2 separate Switches, we would only have one island to share between the 2 of us. So you could play with your... We'll get to that in a second. He doesn't know this yet. So I had to enlighten him. I responded to him. He's the only one I responded to. So when they take turns, they're just
because he's from Minnesota, right?
Yeah, exactly. No, I actually just realized that right now.
The joy in his eyes. You can't see it, but I can.
So yeah, it's like, hey man, what's up? It's like when I see a Minnesota Twins player at a Rangers game because living in Texas, I'm like, it's like we just get an instant like kindredship. But so when he's playing. They're all playing the same character and building with the same character, but you can actually have up to 8 people on the Switch, each have their own character, tent, and house on the same island.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know that.
And neither did he. I let him know that. I said, that's interesting. You know that you can have different players all have their own house on the island on one system, right? And you can play up to 4 players together at the same time on the same screen. So they can actually all play together. Like one person's the leader and like the screen follows him, but everybody else can like do things together. And that's an option in the game. It's called party play. It's new to Animal Crossing.
Wow.
And he said, no, I had no clue you can do that. Teach me your ways. So I sent him a little, I thought I did. Let me do this again real quick. Live and on the air. I sent him the thing.
Twitter response.
Yeah, kind of explaining how to do it because it's super easy.
Jason.
So hopefully I could make a I'd love for them to play all together.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm wondering. I don't think it's possible, but I'm wondering if your character that you have on your Switch, because your account is on my Switch as well. I'm wondering if you can take your character and also have them move, like have a place on my island. I don't know. That seems a little far-fetched.
Yeah.
But he just likes being able to play with his wife and his daughter. And that's something that really resonated with me. Because if it wasn't for you, I would not have gotten Animal Crossing. I got this as something that we can experience together.
How romantic.
Romantic. And the fact that, our daughter, like, she's getting pretty good at controlling the character, She's not doing a whole lot else, but, she can watch us play and she gets excited too. And I don't know. That's really cool because I think I'll have those memories of her holding that controller and playing the game and have memories of playing with you too. And that's something I could take with me and something we can all do together that I enjoy. Of course, it's very hard, especially when you're like as deep into a hobby of video games as I am. It's sometimes hard to get people to enjoy it with you who aren't, as deep into it. So
I get that.
This game has definitely given me that opportunity. So I definitely feel that.
I'm in different kind of fandoms and stuff where as soon as I get excited and start talking about it and get the crazy eyes, I can see people like slowly backing away.
Like Harry Potter or something?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Like, okay.
Like, as soon as I get into, like, the deep stuff, like the trivia and, like the not common knowledge stuff, I can see people trying to leave the conversation. And I'm like, no, because I'm going to enlighten you and you're going to be in it too.
Yeah.
And that's when they run away.
Yeah. So you feel it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I feel like we have to go play Animal Crossing now.
I have a random question for you.
Yeah. Okay. Random question. Random question time.
This is a thing that I want to do. And it doesn't have to be like any kind of like formal setup or whatever.
No, I'm going to add music right now. And it's going to be like, dong, dong.
Okay, random question. What's your favorite movie?
See, these questions are always so hard. And I had no idea this was coming either. So
I know, I put you on the spot.
My favorite movie ever, number one?
One or two.
Or is this like a movie that I want to rewatch as much as I can? Am I thinking too much into this? Am I being that guy? Okay.
Just give me an answer and then tell me your explanation to make you feel better.
Okay. So, favorite movie. Oh, man.
I was going to do the Jeopardy song, but then I was like, wait, is that copyrighted?
You probably can't sing that as well as... We're going to cut all this out anyways. It's going to seem like I answered this real quick when I actually did not. All right. How do you define favorite? I guess I just have to go with the movie that like really blew my mind, man. And I've seen so many times, and I think it was like unparalleled at the time as far as cinematography, not necessarily acting, but plot development wise. And that's The Matrix. I mean, I absolutely love The Matrix.
That's kind of video game-esque.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely.
It
fits.
I feel like all the psychology pieces are there,
Right, as to why I would enjoy it, Yeah, I mean, I was like 14 when I watched it for the first time, and it was in a hotel room in like San Antonio after going to SeaWorld. And like, Tommy was there, and we were able to watch a pay-per-view movie, so we picked The Matrix. And I wound up just really loving the entire trilogy, the animated companion, like the video game. I really dove super deep. So like, I was a really huge fan of that. My runner-up would be Forrest Gump, though, because I mean, come on. It's amazing.
Because Forrest Gump.
It's amazing. I used to be able to like recite that like almost the whole movie. But absolutely love it. Am I supposed to ask you now what your favorite movie is?
Do you know what my favorite movie is?
Ooh. Should I?
Yeah, we've talked about it.
Your number one favorite movie?
I have mentioned two consistently, and I feel like either one could be correct.
Well, I think The Count of Monte Cristo is definitely one of them.
Yes.
But
I love that movie.
It's a cool movie.
The remake with Jim Caviezel.
And I know that you really like That Thing You Do.
Yes.
Yeah, that's, wildly different movies.
So different.
There's also other movies that you've referenced a lot, like Secondhand Lions.
Oh gosh, I love that one too. Yeah.
So I mean,
Wildly different.
were those the two you were thinking of in there, or was there another one?
Count of Monte Cristo, That Thing You Do. You know what? We just watched Knives Out.
Oh yeah.
And that one is one I think I'm gonna want to watch a whole bunch.
That was one of the first movies that I've watched. Most recent movies that I've watched, where as soon as I was done, I was like, I could literally watch that again from the beginning because it was so intriguing.
Yes.
Yeah, I would.
And even halfway through it, I think you and I are really good at predicting where movies are going and what's going to happen. And okay, I see how
it's
this
part
is
of the
all
fun
gonna
of watching
play
a
out.
movie.
Just the prediction of it.
Right.
And I think we're both pretty good at that. That movie, we had to pause for, I don't remember what reason, but it was a necessary reason. And we both looked at each other and were like, I don't know how this is going to end.
Conversation about what if this and what if that. Nothing like that.
Yeah, neither of us got it.
So is that what murder mystery genre? Like, is that what is
I
that
think
genre?
so.
Because there was the Murder on the Orient Express.
And I love that one too.
Yeah, so
Apparently,
I feel
I like a lot of movies.
Well, that genre, I feel like is making some kind of a weird resurgence. They all seemed, I don't know if it's the same director, but they seem to have some of the same visual flares and like pacing of the storytelling and stuff like that. And I really like it. I'm all in for more. So I kind of want to go research other recent movies like that. Definitely. Cool. Can we go play Animal Crossing now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in. If you guys want us to play any game in the whole world, comment wherever you're listening. Comment, Twitter, comment, YouTube, comment, and we might do it.
Or if you have a random question suggestion, that'd be cool too.
Any question, like nothing's off limits except for like weird stuff.
Ask us.
Okay, cool.
Because we don't really talk about ourselves a whole lot in this.
Yeah, and we're pretty cool people, so.
I mean, I know this isn't about like us. This is about like the video game experience. So I don't want to get like too bogged down in it, but I feel like one question per episode's fine.
Yeah. We can do it at the end. Random. Oh, we just created a new segment, Steph.
Whoop whoop.
All right, we're gonna go play Animal Crossing. I just want to say, no, not yet.
Oh.
Thank you. Happy hunting, and bye.
And stay safe.
Oh yeah. Stay home, stay safe.
Yeah.
If you can. We didn't talk about that.
Didn't want to be a downer, but hey, stay safe.
It's just. All right, bye.
I can